I actually just went to church one Sunday, and they announced that there was this new group that they were trialing, and they were looking for women who were interested in trying this new group called Eyes Wide Open. And it's centered on women with body image issues and food issues and bad relationship with food. And it resonated with me as someone who had struggled with an eating disorder since I was 10 years old. And while I was in a decently okay place in recovery at that time, it was still just right under the surface of my skin, like just right there. And I would teeter back and forth with it. And I just thought, well, why not? Let's give this a try. Let me just see, what I might get out of it, what tools. I had already been through all the different types of therapy: inpatient therapy, outpatient therapy, CBT therapy, all the therapies, and I highly recommend them, and I love all of them. But I just needed something else. I just wanted to try something else to see if I could get to a little bit of a better place, and it changed my life ultimately. So it was a good decision. Eyes wide open. When I did not actually, to start off, I did not know what to expect when I went into it. I just thought this was a group of women, people that had been through similar things. It would be nice to get to know some people, talk about some of these issues. What I did not realize is that I was going to walk away with a completely new starting point of learning a whole new part of myself I had not even realized that I had never addressed before. What I learned through that experience that I had not learned in all of the other countless therapies I had been through was that there were parts of my heart and soul that had never been examined. There were parts of my identity I didn't even realize that I had no idea who I was. All of the trauma and the experiences and things that had been done to me or I had been a part of in my life really became my identity. And it was also centered on what everybody else said I was, so that's what I became. And I learned that wasn't me, that it uncovered and kind of peeled back all these layers of that onion where I realized, I had become what everyone else in my life expected me to be, wanted me to be. I never really truly got to know me. And ultimately, that's the person God made me to be. And I had no idea who that was. And I didn't realize I didn't know who that was. And going through the process of Eyes Wide Open, the way that it was laid out, the different topics, the way it was talked about, it was different than anything else I had done. And it forced me to look at myself differently than I had ever looked at myself before. I would say my best piece of advice would be, it never hurts to try. It never hurts. You never know what could come out of a new experience. I have seen, now that I've been through it a few times, I've led it a few times, I have seen relationships develop between women that I don't think they ever thought they'd find a person like that in their life. I have seen so much healing come out of it. I've seen women completely go down different paths of understanding and recognition about themselves. I've seen complete relationships with God transform. There's never any guarantees in life, but there is absolutely no harm in trying it and see what happens. See if those little parts of your heart and soul are uncovered the way mine were. Well, my eyes were certainly open through the experience of being a participant in the group. And I am the type of person where my eyes are open, they're open. They're not shut. I can't close them back again. And I've always known, there's always been a part of me that when I see a problem, when I see something that isn't right or it's not good, I can't help myself. I've got to be a part of it. I've got to do something or speak out on it. And I just knew that I needed to be involved with leading. I wanted to share my experience, and I think for me there was a lot of healing through that as well, continued healing, not just going through it as a participant, but going through it as a leader, and helping women kind of walk through the same path I had already gone down a couple of times. It was more healing. I learned more things about myself It actually brought more healing to me. It brought more understanding to me. And it also gave me an opportunity to use that part of my story and use that part of my life that I think is hidden. It's expected to be hidden, I think, in our society. Women are supposed to we don't talk about it, right? We don't talk about body image. We don't talk about food image or food issues. We don't talk about eating disorders. It's still such a faux pas, even in our, mental illness, trying to be open about that. It's still a very big issue. It's a very big part of our society that I think is covered up and not talked about. So being able to talk about that and make a difference has been incredibly moving and healing for me. I think in a lot of ways it lessened the pain of the issues that I dealt with. Because I think anytime that you can take something that's broken and hurt and damaged in your life and you can use it for good, there's a sense of power that comes with that for yourself, for your heart, for your soul, for your healing, that when left covered and buried, that's just where it is. And there's a power that comes with that, internal power, and enlightenment that, and I'm much more open and honest about the real things in my life that I've ever been before, ever. And so that was probably my biggest takeaway. If you're considering being an eyes wide open leader, I think being open to the continued process is really important. There's a lot of things and conversations that take place that you don't anticipate are going to happen. And I think it's important to recognize that and be open to that because it will continue healing within yourself. It's not just about, I didn't create healing for anyone. We're all on this journey together. But being able to have that voice and provide that guidance or insight or encouragement for other women, it's a wonderful feeling, but it also can be very heavy. So being prepared for that, and if you're ready for that challenge and you're ready to take that on and continue growing in that way and building into other women, then it's a perfect role to take.